everybody, my name is Erin and welcome to today's video. Last week, we took a dive into the Mote Marine Laboratory and Aquarium located in Sarasota, Florida, where we took a look at some of the exhibits and learning opportunities the Mote has to offer, while also questioning how effective and ethical aquariums tend to be. Today, the spiciness continues as we wander into Mote's second building featuring a turtle hospital, the world's smartest manatee duo, and some seahorse dads with a couple of buns in the oven. Now, let me start by saying that I am not what you would call an aquarium connoisseur. I mean, I've been to a few of them in my time, I've hit that Camden Aquarium, I've hit that Baltimore Aquarium, I've been to Mystic, but all these aquariums, they kind of the same thing after a while. Like, you got your fish and your jellies, and eventually you can't remember which aquarium had this fish man or that fish man because they all just kind of blend together after a while. So when I decided to go to Mote, what I was most excited for wasn't every fish boy and its mother staring back at me, because I've seen that before. We've all seen that before. What I was most excited for was this guy, and this guy, and even this guy who's acting as a stand-in for all these guys. What I was most excited for was this awesome turtle rehabilitation program that allows people the opportunity to see animals who are unable to release back into the wild, while also learning about the efforts to go into releasing the ones who can. I feel like this is one of the components that really sets Mote apart from other aquariums, by enabling visitors to see beyond just that of animals in captivity, but how some of these animals actually got to be here and how different life is for their wild relatives. You see, I don't know how many people know this about turtles, but their lives are kinda hard and depressing. I mean, literally, it is turtles against the world and the world against turtles from day one. The mad dash of the ocean is a treacherous journey, and just hours after emerging from their eggs, every predatory force imaginable is on them. Ghost crabs lurking in the shadows, birds diving from the sky, raccoons waiting in nearby dens, even fire ants who are able to overcome hatchlings who are weak with exhaustion and drag them back to their fiery queen. Freaking fire ants! It is only by following the natural light along the horizon and sheer force of will that some of these babes are able to make it to the refuge of the ocean. And even then, what you think is supposed to be your safe haven just becomes your greatest enemy, with a lot of turtles drowning amongst the pounding waves, which, the irony there is unreal. It's like some kind of giant turtle Shakespearean tragedy. I don't even know, man. So what Mote's rehabilitation program does is help the baby turtles who didn't quite make it into the ocean, and you can see these guys recover in this very adorable turtle hospital. Sadly, most sea turtles hatch between June and November, and I was at Mote in late May, so I didn't get to actually see any of those cuties, but I did get to see this other cutie who's by no means a hatchling at all, this man. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't remember this guy's name, but I do remember standing around and talking about him with one of the experts at Mote, whose whole job is to just stand around and take questions, and questions I certainly had. This guy here is one of the permanent residents at the facility, a turtle who was rescued from a bad situation, but for some reason that I can't remember, can't be released back into the wild. So he spends his days just chilling at Mote, relaxing, living out his long turtle life, all laissez-faire like. Or so you thought. Apparently, even turtles these days are getting their gains. This plastic thing floating in this man's tank here is actually turtle exercise equipment. Turtle exercise equipment. According to the expert I talked to, the equipment acts as a kind of daily stimulation for the turtle, being something that he can pick up and move around the tank as he pleases. And this is just one form of enrichment Mote provides. Other turtles are part of a special training group where they touch targets based on different sounds that they hear to provide insight as to how noises like boats or drills affect turtles in the wild. So it's kind of like the turtles are working, but their job is so fun that it acts as a kind of enrichment at the same time. That's pretty cool. And turtles aren't the only animals being specially trained at Mote either. Now, if you've seen my prior video about Crystal River, then you know your girl loves manatees. Like, they are just the most adorable, mind-boggling animals to me. And that's just how I feel about manatees in general. And then you're telling me that there are these genius manatees that are specially trained to do things like open their mouths for dental exams and swim into a stretcher to get their weight checked. I mean, that's just... I love that. Now, like their turtle pals, Buffet and Hugh, which, yes, I agree, 10 out of 10 on the names there, aren't being trained just because watching them do body rolls on command is absolutely adorable. They're really being trained for their own benefit, to help veterinarians make sure that they are as happy and healthy as they can possibly be. And while this idea of training captive animals may seem questionable to some people, operant conditioning is actually a pretty widespread practice that not only helps upkeep the animal's health, but provides a lot of mental stimulation as well. So if you go to Mote thinking you're going to get a circus out of these guys, that is not what is going on here. However, they did perform a number of lovely belly rolls on their own, so trust me, the natural entertainment of manatees is truly endless. After spending some time with these boys, and trust me, you will want to set a good chunk of time aside because like I said, belly rolls for days, you'll turn the corner to find some ever bubbly otters and a creature of the ancient past, the alligator. Now amigos, how do we know that this is an alligator? Besides the fact that we are indeed in Florida, well, alligators have rounded snouts, and when their mouths are closed, most, if not all of their teeth are hidden, while with crocodiles, their snouts are more V-shaped, and it looks like they're always smiling kind of maliciously even when their mouths are shut, so there's that for you. Honestly, I think the more important piece of news here is this guy, who I thought was an actual gator who'd use his tank-like body to bust out of his tank and destroy us all. I mean, talk about a way to go out. And so, after seeing bodybuilding turtles, body rolling manatees, and alligator statues that look so real you'll have a heart palpitation, the aquarium ends with a smashing finale featuring a room full of babies. Seahorse babies, jelly babies, croc babies, every adorable creature under the sea and its mother will be here in this room. Or, in the case of seahorses, it will be the dads. First thing you should know about seahorses is that they mate for life. You know, they are committed to the relationship, and it's this monogamy that makes them incredibly unique amongst their fish brethren. Even rarer is the fact that they are the only known species on Earth in which it is the males who carry the unborn young and not their female partner. And now that is going against some stereotypical gender roles right there, am I right? So, once it's time to start making some babies, the female deposits her eggs inside the male's brood pouch. Once she passes off her eggs, the male immediately fertilizes them with its minuscule seahorse sperm, and embryo development can begin. And a few weeks later, when it's time for those babes to come out, the male relaxes his pouch muscle and starts to move his tail rapidly back and forth in what's more or less a birthing process that pushes all the juveniles out. And there's a bunch of stories like this you can find just by wandering around this toddler-filled room. You can see how jellies reproduce, how these little ones came to be, and oh my gosh, isn't he just the cutest thing playing around like that? But after you're done with all that baby talk, you can hop into the gift shop, try on one of these bad boys, and then skedaddle on home because, amigos, that is the end of our aquarium tour. And that is our look at the Mote Marine Laboratory and Aquarium. Hopefully you guys learned something today. Maybe this inspired you to go here yourselves. And if this video did neither of those things, then meh, I'll see you in the next one.